hard, and so they want to hear what SHOLLEI has to say, and they have also called, of course, the Judicial Service Commission, Raburu, tomorrow to hear their side of the story. They're saying they also, it's like a parallel investigation into all this, because, you know, JSC is doing their 15-day investigation, and now we also have the Legal Affairs Committee investigating this. Raburu.
Well, Hussein, just by way of follow-up, remember the Chepkonga-led commission has already said that they believe that SHOLLEI has not been treated fairly. Isn't this tantamount to almost already having a position on the same?
Yeah, Raburu, it's a bit funny, isn't it? Some would say Justice and Legal Affairs Committee might or may have already taken a position. But of course, the chair said they will still give each party a fair hearing. But yes, yesterday they said the statements they were making, the remarks they were making were a bit alarming when they were saying it seems like there are some people in the judiciary who want to run things their own way and are not keen to follow what the law says, because they're saying there's nowhere in law, that is in the Judicial Service Act, that provides for sending the chief registrar on compulsory leave. It only talks about removal of the chief registrar or suspension, and that is pegged on some certain issues, including her being told what exactly, him or her, depending on who the registrar is, but on this case, SHOLLEI, being told exactly what she's being accused of and being given time to respond. Now, what the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee was saying yesterday is that she wasn't given this time to respond, and already saying it smacks of a conspiracy from the Judicial Service Commission. So definitely, yes, some will say they might be seeming to take a position, especially I don't know how the Judicial Service Commission will take all this as a way to appear before the committee tomorrow. But again, the chair of Konga, Raburu, saying he will give, or the committee will give, a fair hearing to all parties.
Well, Hussein, again, I guess the people at the center of this is the Judicial Service Commission. Have they responded? Will we expect them to appear? Have they responded to the summons as per now?
What we are getting is that they were told, or they were given summons to appear, but they have not communicated as yet. Now, what Parliament normally does, we gather, is that if they don't get any communication, then to them that is a nod to say they will appear. So that is something that we're waiting to hear this afternoon when SHOLLEI appears. If Chepkonga will tell us, that is the chair of the committee, Honorable Chepkonga, he'll tell us if the Judicial Service Commission have communicated. If they haven't communicated, if that means it's a nod, and if we take it as a nod, then we'll see tomorrow if they'll appear tomorrow morning.
Thank you so much. That is Hussein Mohammed. He is at the Continental House where the Committee on Legal Affairs is set to meet with Gladys SHOLLEI, that is the Judicial Registrar, and also probably tomorrow the JSC. Of course, you can keep tabs on the story at Citizen TV News, and also Hussein Mohammed is at Hussein Mohammed G. Let's move on to other stories. And President Uhuru Kenyatta held talks with the Chinese Prime Minister Li Keqiang, where China affirmed its commitment to maintain political links with Kenya. The President and First Lady Margaret Kenyatta had busy but parallel schedules in Beijing on their fourth day in China, with the First Lady visiting a medical facility that partly specializes in HIV and AIDS to learn how China's combination of traditional and Western medicine was working in the management of HIV and AIDS.
During the talks between President Kenyatta and Premier Li Keqiang, alongside top Chinese leadership at the Great Hall of the People, President Kenyatta affirmed that his visit to China was to lay a foundation for the next phase of cooperation between Kenya and the second largest economy in the world. The president acknowledged the flourishing people-to-people and cultural exchanges between the countries, noting that China had set up Confucius Institutes at the University of Nairobi and Egerton University to expand the cultural exchange.
My visit to China is all about deepening the historic partnership between our nations and peoples. It is about China and Kenya, as well as China and Africa.
First Lady Margaret Kenyatta, while touring the Beijing Ditan Hospital Capital Medical University, a facility that specializes in HIV and AIDS treatment, called on world states to unite in seeking a lasting cure for AIDS. She said cooperation in fighting AIDS and other infectious diseases will further reduce the pain and suffering particularly faced by children orphaned by AIDS. The President and First Lady are on their 4th day of a state visit to China, a visit that has seen the President secure 425 billion shillings worth agreements with the government of China. Chris Ongombe, Citizen at 1.
Now, a national study focusing on the incidents and complications of unsafe abortions has revealed that 465,000 abortions were procured in 2012 alone. 64% of all those who sought post-abortion care are shown to be married women or those cohabiting with their partners. Doctors explain that this could be a result of the low uptake of contraception services, leading to several unintended or mistimed pregnancies. The survey also indicates that 17% of the abortions were recorded among girls aged between 10 and 19 years of age.
At least 7% of the women reported that they had one or more previous abortions in the past, or miscarriages. When we looked at their contraceptive profiles, 71% of the women who were seeking care for that pregnancy were not using a modern method of contraception.
Something we also need to think about is the point that married women represent the majority of those presenting for abortion complications, presenting with abortion complications in our facilities. And the bulk of these women were not on any family planning products at the time of conception. So this is also something that is key and a major from the study.
Clearly a matter there that requires more scrutiny. Now, Deputy President William Ruto this morning met with Belgium Deputy Prime Minister Didier Reynders at his current office. The courtesy call saw the two leaders discuss regional ties and how they can foster trade and development between the two countries. Among officials present in the morning meeting included the Belgian ambassador to Kenya, Bart Adeli. On to a developing story, and also quite the interesting one. In the latest development of an incident in NYERI where the grave of a priest was found to have been dug out and another body reportedly found dumped beside his coffin. Police have established that those who exhumed the body of the Catholic priest were in search of gold and silver rings. They then dumped the body after they failed to get the said jewelry.
The Consolata Cemetery inside the Mathare Mission Hospital in NYERI County continues to draw a curious crowd on Wednesday morning as the body of Father Dominic Jordan, who was laid to rest here on 8th February 2012, is exhumed. Prompting this exercise are reports that another body was found dumped beside the coffin with his remains on Tuesday. The community here suspecting foul play following claims of a murder that could have led the criminals to seek to hide evidence that would implicate them.
Atukuzwe Baba na Mwana na Roho Mtakatifu.
A much different story, however, is told when the body is eventually exhumed Wednesday morning, as police ascertained that there was no other body beside Father Dominic Jordan's, establishing instead that thieves believed to have been in search of gold and silver rings abandoned the body on the side of the grave when they found none on the late father. The community now intends to organize a special mass to bury for the second time Father Dominic Jordan and further cleanse the grave. Salim Bilu, Citizen at 1.
Now, a 30-year-old woman was last night killed and her husband critically injured after robbers broke into their home at Miringa-Iri Estate within KERUGOYA town in Kirinyaga County. It is suspected that the deceased was hit with a blunt object on the head during the 1 a.m. incident, while her husband was slashed in the head several times.
Neighbors said there are no number of criminals scaled the perimeter wall of the compound before breaking a window pane and unlocked the door latch with a hooked wire. The couple was asleep in their bedroom and was woken by the criminals who demanded cash and valuables.
Asubuhi hii tumekuja hapa tukapata nyumba imevujwa, alafu kuna mama ameuawa na bwana wake amejeruhiwa. Hii area imekuwa na visanga kama hizi na tungetaka kuuliza serikali ichunguze hii mambo kwa sababu wananchi wanaishi kwa hofu.
Area Administration Police Boss Zakayo Mbugwa, who was among officers to arrive at the scene, said the motive of the attacks was not clear, as the thugs only stole a television set.
Ile kitu ningetaka kusema kwamba hata wale walikuwa karibu na yeye hawakusikia. Ningetaka kuuliza wananchi wale ambao wako hapa, wakitikia kitu kama hiyo wanaweza kutupigia simu.
The injured man is receiving treatment at the KERUGOYA District Hospital.
Now to matters relief, and you will understand what I mean in a moment. Kenya is now the platform for a globally acclaimed sanitation solution following the introduction of the unique ECHOLU toilet that promises to transform the lives of millions of people on the African continent. The sanitation solution that is called ECHOLU offers a huge potential in Africa and will have a positive impact on the environment and poverty reduction while helping to solve health, energy, and water-related issues. Now, according to its Swedish founder, Imad Agi, the ECHOLU toilet solution is affordable, sustainable, order-free, and maintenance-free. It consumes no energy or water, and the end product is fertilizer, providing great hope for millions of small-scale African farmers who rely on organic agriculture by substantially contributing to food security. I had to take a short break, but when we return, we'll have business and sports with Bernard Dong. Stay with Citizen at 1.